Feels like time's been on a fast forward track here in the last couple of weeks, and we're going into the final week of the Liberty Strike events already, though it seemingly was just announced the other day. While this one was a little bit shorter of an event than what we normally see within Call of Duty World War II, the last week here, or I guess last full week of Liberty Strike, is something that we have a little bit of stuff to look forward to, but also at the same time, it might not be as super eventful as many people may anticipate. So in that sense, we're going to be taking a look at 7 different things here to take a look at within Call of Duty World War II this week to keep your eyes open for, but a lot of the stuff may be housekeeping, cookie cutter stuff that we talk about every week that are just the weekly refreshes and some stuff there. So it might not be the most pizzazz-filled things to look out for episode that we do here on the channel, but I want to keep you guys informed and up to date with everything you need to know about Call of Duty World War II this week, and then also talk to you guys a little bit about something at the end that might be a little bit more of an implication, not in this 7-day period, but also maybe shortly thereafter. So kind of in the next week, but also slightly outside of that parameter. But regardless, we're gonna be taking a look at those 7 things you should keep your eyes open for within Call of Duty World War II this week. So that said, let's kick off our Monday with number 1. Firstly, as we mentioned, this is the final full week for the Liberty Strike event. We will of course have into Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time of next week, but for the simple fact of covering this next upcoming 7 days from Monday to Monday, this is the last full week that we'll have of everything available to us here for that event. So my biggest thing here for you guys is if you are looking to take advantage of any of the collections for Liberty Strike, make sure you do so. If you want that ZK checked out variant, the AVS 36 Red Storm variant, the New Zealand Cavalry uniform, the Forefather special helmets, if you want any of that stuff, it's going to lock up on July 24th. So again, this last full week is your best chance to do that. Now, one thing that I will say, and actually was pointed out over on Reddit, which is actually brilliant, and I didn't really think about it until I saw this, but it makes perfect sense. If you guys are looking to complete this collection, we've had a lot of opportunities to get Liberty Strike bribes within the last 2 weeks or so within Call of Duty World War II. That's been the daily special order every day since then, and you can just pretty much stack up and keep rolling them out. So theoretically, by the end of this, you can end up having about 21 Liberty Strike bribes, assuming there are no caps once you hit, say, past 4 or 5. That's the most I think I've gotten in a week. But if you end up doing this, of course, there are right around 30 different items for the entire collections for Liberty Strike. What you want to do is make sure you buy the cheapest of those items that you have available still to unlock out of those Liberty Strike events. So the ones that are like 200 armory credits, the ones that are 325 or something like that, the lower numbers, buy those and then save those Liberty Strike bribes until you have only those more expensive items that you still need to end up unlocking. Because if you do that, you'll end up, of course, saving a lot in terms of armory credits, because if you have the full selection of items, then you can end up getting out of those Liberty Strike bribes the cheaper ones or the more expensive ones. So if you take the option to get those cheaper ones out of the selection pool, you're left with only unlocking via the Liberty Strike bribes the more expensive stuff. So that'll help you save armory credits in actually completing those if you are interested in doing that. So try that out if you guys, once again, are looking to do it. But regardless, if you want to take advantage of all these collections, make sure you get it in the next week. But other than that, the things that we'll see that kind of once again change out on a sort of staple rotation are the orders and contracts. Let's start with that a little bit here as well. More than likely, we're going to be seeing the complete 30 matches for a Liberty Strike bribe return. That's something we've seen the last 2 weeks, so I don't see that it goes away this upcoming week, especially with everything dwindling down and collections coming to a close like we just mentioned. This seems like the perfect opportunity to keep them and allow players to get that last chance in for any items that they may want. So I'd expect that one to stay around for the 30 matches completed. I know that it's not exactly everybody's cup of tea that they enjoy 30 matches played for a daily order, but it is something that as a daily order, it lets you keep that cycle and rotation going, whereas a special order, you'd only be able to complete it once, and therefore it would have to have an entire refresh again to get that again placed in as a special order. So it's just semantics at that point, but I do understand where the frustration may lie, that it does take away from another opportunity to get a daily order of a supply drop, some social score, armory credits, whatever it may be you're looking for. So in that sense, I guess it's just hit or miss for how, if the placing is the right spot for that. But regardless, probably going to be there still. Freedom Fighter drop set is still in place as well. If you guys have not completed all 4 of those, that's something you still have the opportunity to do so for. I believe it's firstly a helmet bribe, a weapon bribe, a uniform bribe, and I think a charm bribe are those 4 that are for each of those different orders. But once you complete those 4, you'll have a daily kill order, which I believe is like 50 or 60 kills or something for a supply drop. So if you guys need to take advantage of that still, make sure you get that in, because again, it's the last week for that. Then also swapping over to the Quartermaster and Butcher, we'll end up seeing that the Moonraven contracts will also be staying very similarly to how we see the Freedom Fighter drop set happen. You have 4 of those uniforms that you can get for the Moonraven set that are zombies contracts and challenges that will require you as a multiplayer player to go in and jump into some zombies to complete a certain quest, a certain challenge, but you end up getting a cool skin out of it. So if that's something that suits your fancy, of course, you can definitely do that, and you still have a week to do so, and it might actually carry over a little bit. I don't remember the timing exactly off the top of my head, but I do remember at the very beginning of the event, the timer was incredibly high, like something of like 900 days or something like that. I think it's been amended since then, and it's been fixed, and it might have just been a little placeholder number there, but regardless, for the next week, you definitely have the opportunity to complete those Moonraven contracts, so if you want one of those, definitely try and do so. But jumping back over to the orders once again to kind of round this out as more speculative, since it's not necessarily confirmed at the moment, potentially we'll end up seeing also a new special order granted this weekend. We've seen the infantry uniform bribe for 25 matches as well as the weapon bribe for 65 matches completed this past week, so I wouldn't be surprised with going into the final full week of Liberty Strike if we end up seeing another one there this week, or another 2 in place for, say, Wednesday as that midweek special order, and then also one for the weekend on Friday, like we've seen with this last week that just passed. So keep your eyes open for all that kind of stuff if you're looking to take advantage of some free items that give you supply drops, bribes, or any gear set. We're of course going to have a full week of those as well. Let's talk about some of the smaller things though that are definitely confirmed, such as the midweek mobilization. That's something that will be happening on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time going until Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For that, you're going to end up getting double division XP in Domination. So if you guys want to rank up your new cavalry division, if you guys haven't done so already, if you still haven't gotten that ZK383 SMG for prestiging the cavalry division since DLC 3 launched on PlayStation 4, and since when that went live for Xbox One and PC, now's again the perfect opportunity to do so with this double division little 24-hour period that you end up having coming in that domination mode. Now, domination is maybe a little bit sweatier than some people may want to play around in, but it's only for 24 hours, so if you can put up for it, it's definitely worth it, I think, to try and rank that up. If you have any divisions, you still need to. Personally, I know that I have a lot of my divisions at that max rank before I can prestige it, and I don't necessarily either need a prestige or they're already up there. So if you're like me and you don't feel the need to prestige, it's okay, but the offer's there if you guys want it. Now, after that, we also know what the weekend warfare will be this weekend. That was detailed in the blog post that Sludge gave us on Friday. This weekend, we're gonna have double XP on their Wanderlust basic training, featured playlist, and double XP when you party up in any mode at all. So for that, if you are a solo player, I'm primarily a solo player, Wanderlust will have you covered in that front, but if you guys also wanna just party up with some friends, all of you guys will get double XP, whether it be in TDM, Domination, Hardcore Search, any of the party modes, that kind of stuff will all grant you double XP in that. So this weekend is definitely going to be another nice way to rank up and kind of close out as the final weekend of Liberty Strike, but if you guys are interested in that, again, it'll be there for you guys if you are looking forward to it. Kind of closing out some of the housekeeping stuff that we normally talk about in this, we end up seeing next the weapon contract. We already know what that's going to be. This past week it was the Stinger, which again, if you have not done so already, grab that if you guys are looking for a new LMG to play around with. That's going to be available until 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, but this upcoming week is going to feature the Nambu Type 2 for, again, we don't know what challenge, probably 4,000 to 5,000 armory credits in an hour time frame for maybe a kill objective, but regardless, the Nambu is going to be available from Butcher and the Quartermaster for the next upcoming week, and should be a decent one. I mean, this is a fun one to play around with. It was built specifically to counter the PPSH, so if you're looking for a formidable SMG, this is definitely a go-to one that you can definitely play around with and have some good times with it. That said, that's going to be available for this week's weapon contract, but after that, not getting hung up on too much of that sort of stuff, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something that will be coming later this week, is Sledge's weekly stream. We saw that we've had the blog post every single Friday, save for a few that they opted out of to give the limelight to Black Ops 4 and things like that, but we've seen that every single week for the past couple of months now, that Sledge has had a sort of recap and update blog over on their site every Friday. Now, they're actually taking that a little bit further and now doing it almost live with everybody by debuting that, but also being just more one-on-one and personable with the community by doing a weekly stream series that they're starting up. This past week was their first one, and it looks like they're going to be trying to do this every single week again, debuting the weekly blog post there as well, so it'll be nice to see what sort of other things they end up throwing in the mix here with this, and what else can come out of this that is more, again, personal one-on-one conversation and maybe some things that aren't detailed indirectly with the blog post. But I like this idea, and I'm glad they're sticking to it. So stick around for that. I don't know if there's anything really all that insane supposedly planned for this Friday's, but it should be cool to be a more one-on-one with the developers themselves. So that's always cool. But the final thing that I want to talk about that we will definitely see some progress on here is the community challenge. This week again is the final full week of Liberty Strike, and we still have 2 tiers left. I think that it's possible we end up completing all the way up to the M1. It might be cutting it close. We might end up getting that M1 on Sunday or Monday, but we just passed the other day the 1911 American 2 variant. So if you guys have not logged in already, check your mail station. It should be available there for you guys to redeem, and you can play around with it. It's got an awesome inspect animation. So that's probably my favorite part out of that weapon, and maybe even one of my favorite weapons overall in the game with inspect animations. But regardless, if you guys haven't picked it up already, make sure you do so. And of course, we're going to be still working towards that Fez special helmet and also the grand finale of the M1 Independent 2 variant. That's something, of course, we will have to complete the entire contract and challenge for, but I think we can do it. I think we've got it in us. Again, if you guys are looking to grind out games to contribute to that, make sure you play Infected, because that is what you can end up grinding the most games out in the shortest amount of time. So that's something we can take a look at. But the final thing that I want to mention is something that I've seen some people talking about, but I don't know exactly for sure if this will be the entire way that we see it go down. One thing that was talked about in last week's blog post and stream by Sledge was Master Prestige rewards. That was something they said is coming in the next title update, but in a recent Reddit reply to a thread called MP rewards coming in the next title update, sort of just a post addressing it to the Reddit community, the Sledge account actually replied saying, "That's right, in just a few more weeks, they'll be ready for you guys." So again, furthering my thoughts that it's going to be either the end of the Liberty Strike event or the beginning of what the next event may be, whatever that's themed to be. But it comes down to if we will have a title update to end Liberty Strike, or if we'll end up seeing one to start the next event, or if any of those at all. But regardless, it does need to come at a title update, and we may or may not be seeing a title update to revert the game back to its air quote normal state with Liberty Strike ending, but I also don't know if that's the case, because not really all that much changed visually to the game with the event that really needed all that much of a complete makeover via title update. Meaning, things like the headquarters are exactly the same as where we left it at the end of Attack of the Undead. There's no commemorative designs spray painted across the walls in the HQ even, and so we didn't even see things like a new map or something like that, how we saw Shamrock adding Shipment 1944, then Griston House being added in with Attack. We didn't see any of that stuff added, and it was a massive update that needed that sort of stuff. So I don't know if we'll get a title update with Liberty Strike. I think we might be seeing one with the start of the next event, so maybe that's when we see Master Prestige rewards happen. But regardless, that's something that I would not expect coming within this upcoming week, or really all that much more chatter on it. So I want to let you guys know about that part for sure, but regardless, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. That's 7 things, once again, to look out for this week in Call of Duty World War II. Again, not the most insanely exciting thing, because a lot of this stuff is still just housekeeping stuff that does change out every week, but wanted to keep you guys in the loop. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you guys looking forward to the end of Liberty Strike? Were you guys hoping that it would last a little longer? Whatever it may be, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II, anything in particular regarding updates, news, best class setups, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And of course, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. And also, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram as well, get a little more active over there, just past 1,000 followers actually, so thank you guys for that if you guys have checked that out. Once again, that link is also in the description below. But all that said, now I really hope you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.